How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Chargepoint and as well as for SOFI. Both of these stocks were able to put up green days inside of the market. We also saw that the SPY finished green as well. SOFI ended up getting a buy rating from an analyst from Bank of America, and of course we had Chargepoint seeing momentum and a lot of buyers coming in due to the fact that Joe Biden is going to be passing a $900 million deal in regards to EV infrastructure in 35 states. So again, these plays are looking really good. We'll talk about it further inside of this video, but I want to remind you, if you're new to this channel, we do have timestamps down below inside the description. And as far as what we're going to be covering, we're going to be taking a look at the charts, we're going to take a look at the short interest, and then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So we're going to take a look at SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.17, being up 5.65%. On the low, it tested $5.90, and then on the high, testing $6.19. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 61.574 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 34.845 million shares. So we had above average volume, and of course we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we could see from our candle here, we formed a higher low and as well as a higher high from the previous day. So we want to see a continuation of this going into tomorrow. So if we decide to have a pullback, where do we want to see support for SOFI? Right at $6. We don't want to be breaking through $5.90 because that's where we can go back to test 576 or 570 range. And if we break through that level, you guys are fully aware we want to see strength in that 550 area, or I should say $5.50 to be exact. Now, if we end up having that bullish move that we are looking for going into tomorrow, we want price action above 625. You guys know I did bring this area to your attention some videos back, and it's still going to be important. It also lines up with the 21 EMA, which is at $6.26. So that's why I'm saying it could serve as an area of resistance. But if we can break above this level, then I want to see SOFI looking comfortable, and if we can get a close above $6.30 going into next week, I think that's personally a good look. And then we can look forward to seeing if it can get past the 50 EMA at $6.48. I know that is a lot to take in, but if we have this bullish trend continue, it can get really interesting from there. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for SOFI. So the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 34.08%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 7.81 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 3 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.93%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we could see for the close of the 12th, it was at 28.26, and then for the close of the 13th, being at 34.08. So it did go up a bit, and then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float, being at 13.19%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Chargepoint. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $18.18, being up 3.65%. On the low, it tested $17.15, and then on the high, testing $18.19. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 10.203 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 13.45 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we saw some strength in the stock. When we take a look at the chart, Chargepoint is looking great. If you guys remember some videos back, I drew this cup and I said we should be having a cup and handle formation and making that move to $18, and now we want to make that move going to $19. I stated that, and we still have time to do that for this week. But as far as to how it's looking, we are trading below all of our major moving averages, which is the 50 EMA, the 21 EMA, and as well as the 9 EMA. And as far as where we found support, it was right at 17.15. So going into tomorrow, what do you want to see from Chargepoint? I want to see a continuation of the higher low. We did end up breaking the pattern on the previous trading day, but now we're getting right back to it. So we had a higher low and as well as a higher high. So if we can get above 1830, that's where I want to see where Chargepoint can go into the 1866, and then essentially making that move to 19. Would love to see it happen on the Friday, but if it doesn't, then I'm looking forward to seeing that move sometime next week. Another point that I want to bring to your attention, if we decide to break through the low of 1715 and we don't show support at the 9 EMA, which is at $7.03, we have to take into consideration what happened on the previous day. So as long as we're staying above 1651, Chargepoint can still make a move further up, but it would lose a good amount of momentum. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on that if it decides to have a major pullback. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Chargepoint. So the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 27.64%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 1.23 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 400,000, updated 6 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 2.27%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 12th, it was at 36.02, and then for the close of the 13th, being at 27.64. So it has gone down a bit, and then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float, being at 15.63%, Chargepoint still continues to have short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts for Chargepoint and as well as for SOFI, let's start off with Chargepoint. So it is continuing to see a lot of momentum. Like I was saying in the beginning of this video, we have Joe Biden who's signing off on a $900 million deal for EV charging infrastructure in 35 states. So of course Chargepoint can benefit from this. Also, I want you guys to remember when we were taking a look at the chart a few videos ago, and I was drawing out for you guys a cup and handle formation that Chargepoint could have. And you know what? It has been playing out to the T, and that's why I see a further move to the upside. So the levels that you want to look for is $19. I'm going to keep saying it till you have it ingrained in your mind, but it has seen a lot of momentum since. And if we do decide to have a pullback, where do I want to see strength? As long as we could stay above 1760, that would be great. So let's wait and see. And of course, when we took a look at the short interest information, Chargepoint does continue to have short squeeze potential. And now, as far as for SOFI, it was great to hear that Bank of America came out and gave them a buy rating. It is about time. We already know the growth prospects of this company. They did well on their previous earnings report as well. And pretty much what Bank of America was talking about was the NFL partnership and then taking into consideration the student loans. So just knowing this, I want to see SOFI being able to continue to have some momentum. So the key level that we want to see it get to is $6.25, and then we want to see what it could do from there. If you've been watching my videos long enough, you already know that is a very key level. If we're unable to get above it, that's where we could start seeing some weakness, but I want to see some continued strength from SOFI being able to hold $6 in my personal opinion. And I know it doesn't move a lot because I know a lot of people say, well, you know what, this stock is barcoding, there's not much movement, but we have to understand as far as for the price action, it has been consistent. We've been having the pullbacks, we know about the volatility, but it is showing some strength. So I want to make sure I remind you guys of that. And also when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So with that said, all this play needs is a catalyst, and we have some more buying volume, and it can take off very quickly. We also have to take into consideration the overall market. If we see a lot of strength, both of these plays can benefit from it. So if we continue to see the SPY making a further move up, I'm going to be expecting that from SOFI and as well as for Chargepoint. And also make sure you're keeping a very close eye on IWM as well. This is very important, especially if you want to get some sort of an idea when it comes to market direction. But don't forget, we are in the month of September. It is a volatile month, and it's also known to be the worst month for the stock market for the year. So I want to make sure that you guys know that you are prepared, and the volatility that you're seeing is something that shouldn't bother you whatsoever. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.